The iconic role of Don Knotts in The Shakiest Gun in the West cost him everything. Don Knotts was born Jesse Donald Knotts on July 21, 1924, in Morgantown, West Virginia, and was one of American television and film's most beloved and versatile comedic actors. His unique brand of humor, characterized by his nervous demeanor, exaggerated facial expressions, and impeccable timing, made him an iconic figure, particularly for his portrayal of Deputy Barney Fife on the hit television show The Andy Griffith Show. Knotts' journey to stardom, however, was far from easy. It was marked by humble beginnings, a challenging family life, and a relentless drive to succeed in show business. His career spanned several decades, during which he not only left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry but also earned the love and admiration of millions. Don Knotts grew up during the Great Depression, and his early life was fraught with hardships. His father, William Knotts, suffered from mental illness and alcoholism, creating a tense and difficult home environment. Don was the youngest of 4 children, and by the time he was born, his father had become largely incapacitated. Knotts' mother, Elsie, was the primary breadwinner, working tirelessly to support the family. This challenging upbringing significantly impacted Knotts, who often used humor as a coping mechanism to deal with the difficulties he faced at home. Knotts had a passion for performing from an early age, but his shy nature made it difficult for him to break into the entertainment world. Despite his initial struggles with self-confidence, he began performing as a ventriloquist and comedian during his high school years. His ventriloquism act, where he performed alongside a dummy named Danny Hooch Matador, earned him local attention, and he eventually took his talent to the stage. During World War II, Knotts enlisted in the United States Army and served in the Pacific Theater as part of a special services unit. He performed for the troops, honing his comedic skills and further solidifying his love for entertainment. After the war, Knotts pursued a degree in education at West Virginia University, but his passion for acting and comedy never wavered. He soon moved to New York City, where he worked his way up through radio and stage performances. Knotts landed a role on the popular soap opera Search for Tomorrow, where he played the nervous and neurotic character Wilbur Peterson. This role helped Knotts establish his signature comedic style, characterized by exaggerated anxiety and bumbling nervousness. Don Knotts' career took a monumental turn when he was cast as Deputy Barney Fife on The Andy Griffith Show in 1960. The role would become the defining moment of his career. Barney Fife, the high-strung and inept deputy sheriff of the fictional town of Mayberry, became an instant fan favorite. Knotts' portrayal of the character was a masterclass in physical comedy and comedic timing. His interactions with Andy Griffith, who played the calm and collected Sheriff Andy Taylor, created a dynamic that was both heartwarming and hilarious. Knotts' performance as Barney Fife earned him widespread acclaim, including 5 Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role. His ability to make audiences laugh while also endearing them to his character's vulnerabilities was unparalleled. Barney Fife was not just a caricature. Knotts infused him with a sense of sincerity and humanity, which made his bumbling antics all the more lovable. Despite the show's success, Knotts left The Andy Griffith Show after 5 seasons to pursue a film career. This decision came as a surprise to many, but Knotts believed it was the right time to explore new opportunities. After leaving The Andy Griffith Show, Knotts transitioned into a successful film career, particularly in family comedies. He starred in a series of beloved films, including The Ghost and Mr. Chicken, 1966, The Incredible Mr. Limpet, 1964, and The Shakiest Gun in the West, 1968. These films capitalized on Knotts' signature comedic style, allowing him to play the nervous, bumbling everyman who always seemed to find himself in outrageous situations. In the 1970s, Knotts returned to television with a recurring role on Three's Company, where he played the eccentric and colorful landlord, Ralph Furley. His portrayal of Furley once again showcased his comedic genius and introduced him to a new generation of viewers. Knotts' ability to reinvent himself and adapt to changing television landscapes was a testament to his versatility as a performer. Don Knotts, renowned for his exceptional comedic talent and memorable roles, is perhaps best known for his work in classic television comedies. One of his most iconic roles was in the film The Shakiest Gun in the West, 1968, a comedy western that highlighted Knott's unique ability to blend humor with an innocent, everyman charm. While this role cemented his place in Hollywood's comedic history, it also brought to light some of the personal sacrifices he made along the way. Knott's journey to becoming a celebrated comedian was shaped by a childhood marked by profound difficulties and emotional trauma. His early life in Morgantown, West Virginia, was far from idyllic. His father, who suffered from schizophrenia and struggled with alcoholism, created an unstable and frightening home environment. Knott's father's erratic behavior, including instances of violent outbursts and threats, including terrorizing him with a knife, had a significant impact on young Don. This abusive and unpredictable atmosphere forced Knotts to retreat inwardly, developing a coping mechanism that would later become a central feature of his comedic persona. From a young age, Knotts sought solace and escape through humor. He discovered that laughter was not only a way to deal with the trauma of his childhood but also a powerful tool to connect with others and shield himself from the harshness of his reality. His innate ability to make people laugh and his distinctive comedic style were born out of this need to find light in the darkness. Knotts' experiences shaped his comedic sensibility, imbuing his performances with a genuine sense of vulnerability and an endearing quality that resonated with audiences. In The Shakiest Gun in the West, Knotts played a bumbling but well-meaning dentist who becomes an unlikely hero in the Old West. His portrayal of the character, filled with his signature awkwardness and neurotic humor, showcased his exceptional skill in combining physical comedy with verbal wit. The film's success not only solidified Knotts' reputation as a top comedic actor but also highlighted the duality of his career. On-screen, he was the lovable, laugh-inducing figure, while off-screen, he grappled with the emotional scars of his past. The cost of Knotts' success, however, was significant. His commitment to his craft and the persona he developed to entertain millions came at a personal price. The laughter and humor that he used to navigate his painful memories often masked the ongoing struggle he faced with his own mental health. Despite his public persona as the cheerful comedian, Knotts' private life was marked by moments of introspection and emotional strain. The pressures of maintaining his on-screen image and the emotional toll of his childhood trauma contributed to a complex relationship with his own sense of identity and well-being. The role in The Shakiest Gun in the West was a testament to Knotts' talent and resilience, but it also underscored the personal sacrifices he made along the way. The film not only showcased his comedic prowess but also highlighted the deeper personal costs associated with his career. Knotts' ability to bring joy to others through his performances was a remarkable achievement, but it also reflected a deeper narrative of overcoming adversity and the ongoing challenge of reconciling his past with his public persona. Behind the scenes, Knotts was known as a gentle and humble man, despite his success in Hollywood. He was married 3 times and had 2 children, including his daughter Karen Knotts, who would go on to follow in his footsteps as a performer. His personal life, however, was not without its struggles. Knotts battled with hypochondria and anxiety throughout his life, conditions that likely stemmed from the traumas of his childhood. Despite these challenges, he never let his difficulties interfere with his work, and he maintained a professional demeanor throughout his career. Knotts' contribution to comedy and television is undeniable. He was a master of physical comedy, able to evoke laughter with just a twitch of his face or a nervous gesture. His work continues to influence comedians and actors to this day. In 2000, he was awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, cementing his legacy as one of the greats in television history. In his later years, Knotts continued to make appearances on television and in films, though his health began to decline. He battled lung cancer and other health issues but remained active and dedicated to his craft until the very end. Don Knotts passed away on February 24, 2006, at the age of 81, leaving behind a legacy of laughter and joy that will continue to resonate for generations to come. Don Knotts is remembered not just for the characters he brought to life, but for the joy and comfort he provided to millions of viewers. His humor was timeless, appealing to people of all ages and backgrounds. Barney Fife, in particular, remains one of the most iconic characters in television history, a testament to Knotts' immense talent. His ability to make people laugh, even in the most difficult of times, has ensured that his legacy will endure. In the years following his death, numerous tributes were paid to Knotts. His hometown of Morgantown, West Virginia, honored him with a statue, and his work continues to be celebrated by fans, fellow actors, and comedians. His daughter Karen Knotts also wrote a touching memoir, Tied Up in Knots, which offers a behind-the-scenes look at her father's life and career, providing insight into the man behind the laughter. Don Knotts' life and work stand as a reminder of the power of humor and the enduring impact of a well-timed joke. His contributions to television and comedy have left an indelible mark on American culture, and his legacy will continue to inspire future generations of entertainers.